I'm Jacob Adams. I'm a fitness and leadership coach. I help people just like you get to the next level. Have you been wondering what is the purpose of meditation? I started getting into meditation as an idea in 2007. At that time, I had already been teaching yoga for about 2 years. I was listening to Deepak Chopra, affirmations, and my first glimpse into meditation was a class. During class settings, I would do in corpse pose, right? I would lay down, and the class would lay down, and we would just observe the breath go in and out. And after enough observation of the breath, there was this beautiful moment of tranquility, of understanding, of depth. Words are never going to be able to capture the full essence of that moment. Depth is a good word. Beauty, stillness, understanding, bliss. These are all really good words to describe the feeling of entering and being in a meditative state. But it's like going to, I've been to EDC in 2014, Electronic Daisy Carnival, and it was a beautiful experience. I saw Afrojack, tear up the scene there. I saw Avicii. I saw Above and Beyond. I saw Tiesto. I saw some amazing artists tear up the scene, tear up their sets. The thing is, those words aren't going to fully capture it for you. You weren't there. You weren't there when Borgore dropped the bass and I'm in the middle of a mosh, right? And people are just going crazy and the bass is so deep and it's just hitting this spot and it feels like we're lost in this tribal dance. You weren't there, right? You can only for a moment glimpse and imagine and visualize what that was like. Meditation is like that. Bliss sounds good, doesn't it? So does depth. So does peace and understanding and tranquility. If you're like me, and many people are, I think, especially in Western culture, the land of America, fuck yeah, right? The land of our big military, our fast food, our processed food, our big gyms, our big trucks. Meditation sounds like some hokey, frickin' brainwash bullshit, really, at first hearing it. Really, what is a guy like me who likes women, who likes steak, who likes, lifting weights, heavy, gaining muscle, gaining an intense edge over the resistance of life? What is a guy like me doing talking about meditation? It's kind of stupid at first glance. So I actually struggled with getting into meditation because I decided to actually meditate in 2007 when I read, it was on Audible. It was Yogananda's book, Autobiography of a Yogi. And I saw that book at a Bikram studio. I was in Dallas, Texas, and I saw it kind of out there in the distance, Autobiography of a Yogi. And I was like, oh, I should get that book. And I just, I had an Audible credit. I had an Audible credit. I just, okay, sure, it's here. Okay, got it. Got the book. Listen to the book. Everything's good. And, I said, he started talking about Kriya Yoga, about how like there's all these planets and there's different dimensions. And he started going, Yogananda wrote some crazy things, dude. Like about how there's parallel universes and other dimensions and how we're just one. Like it was so insane. I have no idea why, really. I said, let me get into this. But I did. See, it was 2007, and I said, let me get into this. Maybe it was because I had already gone away from the Christian church, and the way it was so like, I don't know, it just seemed so hokey and controlling. They didn't want me to bodybuild. They told me, I was like, Jacob, I went to a fundamentalist church, and they told me, Jacob, you shouldn't bodybuild. And there was a girl I liked, and they said, Jacob, we don't want you to be with her. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. So I walked away angry, hurt. My heart was broken. And I walked away from the Christian church. So here it was, 7 years later from that moment, walking away, and I'm like, dude, this sounds great. I would love to tap into another reality, I guess. The fact that Yogananda, who I think is smiling upon me right now, there's a picture behind this camera, and it's there, and I think he's smiling upon me as I say this, the guru. And so in any case, I was like, yeah, if there's another reality out there, I'd love to see that, because life is crazy sometimes, or there's always like people trying to control God, right? But it was 2007, and I was teaching yoga. I'd already taught like hundreds of classes. So I guess this is starting to make some sense to you, right? The search and how I got into this. But I got into yoga because I was into bodybuilding and I was really tight. So it's funny how things start unraveling, right? Like this path and this purpose, and like there's an unveiling of sorts. Like nothing, no one's gonna decide this for you. Like no one's ever gonna decide for you to meditate. You don't have to listen to anything I'm saying. You can listen to someone saying that I'm full of shit. You can listen to them. Choice is yours. So in any case, there I am, and soon I break up with my girlfriend. Time we go on our ways, and there goes our little pack. We were both gonna get into this meditation together. I remember that we had both decided we're gonna get into meditation together, and there goes our little pack. But I continued teaching yoga, and I got a book called Man's Eternal Quest, and I started reading it, and I was like, great. And it really helped me get through some of that breakup stuff. And The Purpose Driven Life was another book I got by Rick Warren. And that helped me get connected to opening my heart to God again. And those are very pivotal. That's a very pivotal moment right there. Like that was me saying, okay, I believe there's a purpose for my life. I don't know what it is, but I believe there's a purpose for my life. I believe God is there. And I'm open to this. And so that was the opening. There was an openness in my mind and my heart there, okay, 2008. So I continue, I moved to Houston. There's a girl I like there, a woman, and we get along. We have very good intellectual conversations, and we're bonding, and we're being good friends. Sooner or later, there's power struggles, as there tends to be in relationships. And yeah, I say to her, listen, I want to quit playing games here. I want to actually submit to God then, because it seems like you're playing a game, I'm playing a game, we're both playing games. I do this, you do that. I do this, you do that. So let's just submit to God, and we'll just figure it out. Because, if it's kind of like, it was my way of saying, look, let's put some rules here, because if you're doing this, and I do this, and then there's this, and there's that, no one's ever doing anything right. No one's ever gaining any insight. No one's ever gonna get it right. It's always gonna be a power struggle. Always. There's always push and pull. And I was tired of the push and pull, to be quite blunt with you. I was very tired of that. And so she says, well, I'll think about it. And to me at that time, I was like, oh, you'll think about it. So I was like, no. There's none of that. This is why. Because bottom line is this. If she wanted to be in that relationship, and I'm saying this is us, we're going to follow God and we're going to get along and we're going to have rules and we're going to have a way of us understanding each other. And she's like, well, think about it. Well, you know what? There's nothing to think about then, because that means that you're not following the path that I'm going to walk. So we're going to split paths, because I'm saying I'm walking to God. And she's like, well, I don't know. I'll think about it. Do you get it? I'm walking this way. She's like, well, I'll think about it. Well, there's nothing to think about then, right? So naturally, if you think about that, we just split. Is that a breakup, or is it just like, oh, it's just a drift? It's just a drift. So we drifted apart, broke up. I broke up with her, but I wasn't going to put up with this lacking of alignment. What's the point of that? Really, what's the point of that? That's the problem with today's relationships. Everybody's trying to be unaligned, and then they're wondering why they can't be together. If there's no alignment, how are you going to be together? In Swedish House Mafia's a documentary, it says a house divided will fall apart. Now, I don't know exactly how it says, but it says that. Now, that's Swedish House Mafia. Okay? A house divided falls apart. Something like that. That's the beginning of the documentary for Swedish House Mafia. Look into it. That's what I'm saying. So I saw it. This is a house divided. Now, we're living in times, dude, where people can't handle that clarity, dude. People can't handle that level of clarity. But they want that level of clarity, but they can't handle that level of clarity. They want that clarity, but they can't handle that level of clarity because it would make somebody submit to something within themselves. You understand? This is what I have found. This is what I have found. This is why you want to meditate. It isn't because there is no value in your intensity. There is no value in your stakes. There is no value in your big trucks. There is no value in your desire to play Metallica or listen to Dash Berlin or listen to Christina Aguilera or listen to real crazy concepts or listen to fucking Cardi B and her fucking Kodak Black and whatever the fuck her songs are about cash and how she's the Ked bitch and all this shit. Okay, it doesn't mean that that's not relevant if it is to you. What this means is that clarity and the expansion of your awareness and the ability to sink into the deepest levels of your truth can only be acquired through the stilling of the mind and the retracting of the senses to find light within, to expand that light. You know, a lot of my videos that I make, I'm real happy, I'm real cool, I'm real chill. People watch them, people don't watch them, people comment. Like one of my most awesome videos people like is Friends with Benefits, When to Walk Away. Right? When to walk away. Friends with Benefits, when to walk away. That's the one that gets watched all the time. You know why? Alignment. You see the correlation? Alignment. I walked away from a woman that started out as Friends with Benefits. I walked away from her. It came into a long-term relationship, but she couldn't handle like being a good woman. I was ready to be a good man. And I could tell you in it's interesting. It's like when I wanted to be like a not caring guy, you know? Guy that kind of, okay, well, this is a relationship, I'm in it. Okay, fuck it. I was in it. That was when relationships went well. When I tried stepping up to the plate and being a better man, like committing to God, being a good man, it's like this woman that was once a Friends with Benefits, I tried turning into my good woman. And it's like, you know, one time I told her, I said, listen, I would like to potentially be, you know, more than just sex. I would like to be more than just sex. Why don't we take a break off the sex, and we could take a break off the sex, and we could just be like, see what we are without the sex. Because the sex was good. I wasn't complaining. The sex was good. I was happy with the sex. But I wanted to see if there was anything without the sex. And she, you know what she tells me? She goes, and listen for this, drum roll. She's driving, and she says, you know what she says? She says, I don't want to date a monk. I'm DTF. You know, there's only 4 things that a person can do in life. Is like, in Warriors Way, we believe there's only 4 things, right? Body, improve our body. I just worked out. I just slayed it at the gym. It was a great workout. Pushing 225 pounds, feeling good. Being, the expansion of our spirit. And that's what I was trying to tell her. Like, hey, I want to get closer to God. She says that to me. She's DTF. She doesn't want to date a monk. I even paid for her meditation lessons. And I'm like, come on. And I'm praying. Oh, I can't believe how terrible that relationship was. Dude, like, I'm telling you, dude. And business, which is part of the reason I'm making this video, is to expand my message, and reach people like you. Look, if you're still watching this video, you're special to me. Okay? You're special to me because, like, think about how many people can't handle this. Just think about that for a second. What are people watching? Anyway, like, I have Netflix, I have HBO, I have DirecTV, I have the internet. Dude, the best podcast right now is Joe Rogan. Like, that's the best podcast. Neil Strauss is a great podcast. He's got one of the top podcasts right now. Ben Shapiro. Look, okay. Let me calm down. This video may cut into 2 parts because my camera only gets 19 minutes or 17 minutes at a time, because whatever. Just if it cuts into another slot, you know what happened. So, in any case, where was I? Girlfriend tells me she's dealing with DTF. So I kept finding that, like, no matter how much I wanted to be on this path of being righteous, to like get things right with a woman, to finally improve that. There's only 4 B's: body. Okay, I was teaching CrossFit. I was in good shape. Okay, I mean, fuck, I'm in good shape. I know yoga. Okay, meditation. I'm trying to get the part of my life, like, let me meditate. Let's get this thing going, right? And it's not, you can't tell me she wasn't interested in me. We were having great sex, but it's like, you can't, I can't explain it. Dude, like, do you understand how maddening this could get? Do you understand how maddening it is